And the other sort of BBC versus ITV was Sunday night with the Battle of the Investigators, I suppose you could say.
Oh, well done, yeah.
Endeavour on ITV started at 8 o'clock and Sherlock started at 9.
At the end of the last series, Detective Thursday's daughter Joan went missing. She ran away, and so we start right after the events of that last series. Both Morse and Thursday are kind of affected by that. Morse more kind of so because he equally doesn't pass the sergeant's exam because of a conspiracy where his and only his paper goes missing, so therefore he fails. But Thursday is clearly distracted by the fact that his daughter's not around. The actual plot of this episode was based around the fact that several people were drowned who originally seemed very unconnected, but of course, this being a crime drama, were very much connected in a very sinister chess game of someone who, in the end, turned out to be someone who made death masks of his victims because of an episode where his father made death masks of World War One, or not death masks, they were masks of World War One victims who he used to help reconstruction, but he was affected by that and the fact that I can't remember if he mistakenly drowned or witnessed the drowning of his sister. It all tied together at the end fantastically, as most of these Morse episodes do. I really enjoyed this. The characters are fully formed in this programme. You know, you really feel for Thursday and the fact that he's pining for his daughter. His wife starts to get a job, so he can kind of feel his life kind of changing around him. Unlike other shows which I could mention, there's an actual storyline here that I'd like to follow.
Yeah, there's a story, and it's clever without sort of going, oh, look how clever we are.
Yes.
Logical, I think, is the word.
It's logical, and there's, as you said, there's characters you can care about.
Roger Allam and Sean Evans, there is no better team outside of Scott and Bailey working together in this format. They just complement each other so well, and you could watch them investigate. And do you know what? I would just about bear watching them chase a tiger through a maze. I could just about manage it.
Funnily enough that you say that. Yeah.
So Sherlock this week was called The Lying Detective. This was the one we were anticipating mainly because of Toby Jones. Now, what was your feelings on the character? Because I've talked to someone since, and they reckon he was essentially playing Jimmy Savile in this.
Yes,
pretty much.
He was an untouchable.
I didn't get that.
I've got a key to every room. I can bribe a police officer to get anywhere, and I can.
I know the Queen.
My special room is a mortuary. Come on, the clues are all there.
Now you say it. Yeah. But he wasn't wearing a medallion, okay?
No, I think they stopped short of the TV show and the radio career, yeah. But
this was the sort of fractured relationship between Sherlock and Watson since Mary's death. They haven't been speaking, and Sherlock basically is sort of becoming more and more addicted to the drugs. He starts investigating Culverton Smith, who's the Toby Jones character. Meanwhile, Una Stubbs is getting really worried and gets Watson in. I enjoyed this episode. There was a twist at the end. Should we reveal the twist?
Well, yes, we can. But can I just go back a bit and say I don't feel like Martin Freeman's been in Sherlock at all this year. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I feel like it.
He was in this episode quite a lot.
Yeah, but I feel like he's not had any impact or anything much to do. I don't like.
Well, that's because half the episode he's talking to a dead person.
I know why they brought Amanda Ebbington back. I understand why they did it. It's not a fan. I'm not a fan of that device.
No, I wasn't a fan of that.
It's really overused in TV. That device of if you're gonna die on screen, then you come back the next episode, it completely takes away the impact, if any, that the death had in the first place.
I would disagree with you about Martin Freeman. I think that it's because Benedict Cumberbatch is so big, everyone else sort of hides in the background.
I suppose he gives such an understated performance in comparison to everyone else.
Here's what I think it is. He's supposed to be the logical, cold-hearted, more logical part of the kind of Sherlock all over the place. But the problem is that when you then have Watson becoming part of the storyline, in other words, his wife dying, he's got a young child, he's in therapy, suddenly he's more like Sherlock than he's supposed to be the balance of him, not the same as him. I did not like this episode at all. Again, I thought it was far.
What about the? Well, can we just before you do that?
Misses. I like that.
This one was universal. The first one, a lot of people. This one is it's much better. Blah blah blah. Mainly because of the last minute reveal that the therapist the girl that might be murdered on the bus, and
who you quite rightly predicted. You said she'll turn out evil. Yeah.
And the woman sort of who he thought was Toby Jones's daughter all turned out to be the same person who is actually Sherlock's sister, Euros.
The reason I didn't like it is because, like last week, I felt like we blew through so many important things so quickly. I do not know how it has taken them 2 years to say... They've said it's taken them 2 years to write this. I really don't believe them. I really don't see it. I can see that it's taken 2 years to get these actors in the same place.
Now, unfortunately, during Gary's eloquent speech about why he didn't enjoy Sherlock, a dog that we were looking after started barking in the background. So try and focus on Gary here and not the background noise of a dog barking.
And yes, I was annoyed. I was very annoyed that Benedict Cumberbatch was fully formed with his Doctor Strange beard because he's obviously filming another film. I know the dog disagrees with me, but I don't care. I was uncomfortable with this whole thing. This whole thing of Sherlock going mad, but yet still, reproducing things that are happening 2 weeks in advance. There was no.
That's the bit that annoyed me. That's the bit that annoyed me.
Where was the Sherlock being Sherlock in this episode? It was just, I don't know, it just felt wrong.
The bit where Eunice Stubb turned up at Martin Freeman's therapist's house was the bit that really annoyed me, because it seemed like there's not a moment in Sherlock where Sherlock can get anything wrong or not second guess anything. That's the bit that annoyed me, because I feel like they always want to show him as this amazing, incredible person.
It's the editing, it's just the frantic editing. It's the look how clever we are, look at these things we're doing, and it doesn't. As I said before, I watched Endeavour and Sherlock essentially back to back. They were both cleverly plotted ones, but Endeavour was understated. It was clever. It was a lot better paced. Me and Luke talked briefly on Sunday night, and as you said, Toby Jones was very, very hammy. I mean, I liked him in this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everything about Endeavour is Endeavour is essentially everything that Sherlock isn't in a good way.
The Toby Jones character and the storyline that they could have done with him would have been a good episode. But the problem is you're left now with this whole feeling of, well, he was just like a bit part.
I would have liked Endeavour.
He was the baddie of the week. We've got a much better baddie now. Yeah. It's like, please, Sherlock, please just tell a story.